Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to HTSAI. We are in Ohio tonight at Dora Speedway. Dora Speedway is one of the most famous dirt tracks in the country, and tonight they will be putting on a doubleheader, the 305s first, and then they'll move on to the 358 big block mods. Both will be fixed setups, multiple heat races, and green-white checkers galore. Dora, known as the Big E, is currently owned by none other than Tony Smoke Stewart, and featured the Gander Trucks series from 2013 to 2019, and there's even the rumor that it'll get a cup race eventually. We'll have to wait and see. It's definitely got one of the better dirt tracks they could pull it off at for sure. Now tonight we are here with the Outcast Dirt League. They are sponsored by B-Make Designs and MotoWear Apparel. And they have some great gear, so if you're looking for anything motorcycle or riding gear of any kind, definitely go check out MotoWear. As they are just finishing up, they have about a minute left to practice and qualifying will begin. They will have 4 heats tonight, and then a consolation race and the final feature in the 305s. Now they are running a fixed setup tonight. They have unlimited fast repairs. They have 3 green-white checkers. So this will get exciting, especially when you consider these 305 series is a mix of very experienced dirt trackers, very experienced guys, and some real rookie guys as well. But they all get along really well. They work together really well, and I expect to see some outstanding racing before this night is through. As we watch them turn in the final laps of practice, note that the track will start with 0% usage each time, so you will get to see it wear in, you will get to see it slick off, and you will get to see these guys moving around to make some really crazy passes. This will get very, very exciting. We have a lot of new names here tonight, and we have a lot of old faces as well. We've got Gerald Thanos Poole is in the car tonight, and of course, Chris Standridge, the league admin, is with us as well. So he'll be out there in the number 22. We've got Gerald Poole in his number 25. We've got several of these guys that we will see Wednesday night when they take the SR8s around the track, like Gerald, like Chris, and several other members as they get ready to go out and qualify. Hopefully we will get to see a little bit of qualifying here. They get just a couple of laps to qualify, and then we'll watch that number 22 of Chris Standridge go out and turn his qualifying laps. And as we mentioned, the track is back to 0% usage. That does make it a little bit easier on the rookies, but you know those veterans like Chris himself, they really enjoy this track being fresh all the way around as he hugs the bottom line through the turns there. I want to watch qualifying to see just how fast these guys are going to be going. One of these more experienced guys like Chris, and we'll be able to see the disparity in the lap times tonight. As we said, as we mentioned before, Outcast has several different divisions. They've got these 2 dirt divisions. They've got a couple of radical divisions. They have got numerous different leagues and divisions. I believe the count was 14 last time I looked. They've got a little something for everything: road, dirt, road, dirt, asphalt, oval, different combinations that are really fun, and even a super speedway league, and these guys are really fun to run with. Run a couple races with them. A couple of the fun races here, ran a couple of league races, and it's always a great group of guys that have a whole lot of fun, so we look forward to that. And it looks like Ernie is in the chat already tonight. Definitely, if you've got a favorite driver, cheer them on in the chat. We'll try and look at everybody and get you a look at your cars. Now, one thing we will be looking at, as we said, we see some of these rookies out here. We're going to be looking to see who comes from the back to the front, and they will be inverting the first 4 in the heats, so that will make for an interesting race tonight. As they finish up qualifying, it looks like Ryan Nesbitt had the fastest qualifying lap, but they were all really close. We're talking the first 5 are within hundredths of a second. Christopher Standridge had the second fastest, Michael Whiting the third, Patrick Colucci the fourth, Wayne Bridges fifth, Drew Warren, Gerald Thanospool, Brian Mansfield, Ernest Shilko, and James Johnson round out your top 10. Just a few seconds left to go, and we will kick off Heat 1. We'll see who lines up in the first heat and see how they go. These are just 8-lap heats tonight, folks, but they are going to be rather quick. And there you see several of the guys lining up. It looks like you got the 113, the 424, the 74, the 92, the 24, and the 333. And as they come out on track, we'll get the names straightened out. This is a new broadcast for us here, so we're still learning some names, still learning some paint jobs, and tonight will definitely be exciting, but we will do our best to show you all your favorite drivers. As we see the first 6 come out. And as you see, the number 74, he qualified on the pole. But with the invert, he is starting 4th. They come down to get 1 lap to green. We see the Hershey's car, the Miller car. And we will get a good idea of how this racing is going to go tonight here when that pace truck drops off. There goes the pace truck as they come out of turn 4. Completely fresh track, 10 minutes. Danny Chandler takes the green flag, gets it down into 1 and 2, and gets a good run. Oh, we've got a little bit of bumping back there. Caution is out already. Looked like we had a little bit of a bump back there on the back stretch. Looked like it was the 333 of Corey Goodall. Let's go take a quick look back here and see who was involved. Now the pace laps do not count, so they will go back to green. They will have 6 more laps, or 7, excuse me. Plus the green-white checkers. And it looks like Ernest Shilko and Wayne Bridges were involved in that. They are both off track. And pace laps are counting during the heat, excuse me. And as I said, they do have unlimited fast repairs tonight, so we should see both cars back out on the track fairly quickly. Although they're having to, looks like they're having to tow, so they might be just a few seconds, a few laps down when it all shakes out. And it looks like 4 from each heat will advance. Looks like Corey Goodall will get into the main at this point, currently being scored in 4th. There in that 24, that is Corey. And we are getting the 1 lap to green with that big Hershey kiss on top of that 113 of Danny Chandler. They line up side by side, and let's see if they can get some green flag laps in here, guys. And green flag is out. The 113, Danny Chandler, staying in the lead. He's got Ryan and Corey right on his back bumper, though. Looks like Ryan is trying to make a run out there on the high side. Corey is trying to make it work, following the same line, just a hair lower through turns 3 and 4. But that high line seems to be working really well. Ryan is closing that gap quickly, and the lap cars are back out on the track. We've got Wayne Bridges and Ernest Shilko back out on the track currently. Both look to be about 4 laps down. We've got 2 laps to go. Danny Chandler has held on to it from the get-go. And it looks like it will be Danny Chandler, Ryan Nesbitt, Corey Goodall, and Lance Sponberg advancing into the feature. Wayne and Ernest will both have to race their way in the consolation race. As they come down, Danny gets his first win of the evening. Will that be a trend? He held off everybody, regardless of what line they ran. He managed to hold everybody off. And there is Chris Standridge in the 22. He was the fastest from this heat, so he got inverted, and now he is back there in the 4th position. As they cross the start-finish line, scoring will update. We will get all these names for you, and we'll be learning the cars tonight as well as y'all. Again, just 4 of them in advance out of this 8-lap heat race. The other 2 will go on to the consolation. Looks like Aiden Trevette and Bill Percy both dropped into the chat tonight. Welcome, guys. As we get the 1 to green, we'll be waiting for that pace truck to drop off. As they come out of the corner down the back straightaway. Got several different interesting paint schemes here tonight. And of course that is the Outcast Dirt League car there at the front. That is Derek Nearhood in that number 40. Right up there at the front, but the action is from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Looks like Chris Standridge is trying to take the inside line away. While we've got James Johnson out there running that high line. We saw the 2nd place car last heat running that high line very effectively. Comes down a little bit through the middle of the corner. But looks like Chris Standridge might be taking that 3rd position away from him. About every corner he gets a little bit ahead, but that car on the outside is holding him up, having to chop off a little momentum. It looks like he's going to make the pass. Chris Standridge moves into 3rd. That puts James Johnson on the bubble. And it looks like Jamie Calkins and Leo are back there 5th and 6th. We are halfway, 4 laps completed, and Derek Nearhood has checked out from this field 1.2 seconds on a half-mile track in 4 laps. That is truly impressive driving. And it looks like Chris is going to make a move on the number 35. That is Drew Warren in that 35 and 2nd spot, and Chris Standridge is already underneath him. They touch. Chris manages to hold on to it, but does not take the position. And we still have James Johnson running that high line back there, trying to get back up into third. 2 laps to go. And it looks like James is starting to look to the inside coming through here. As we get 1 to go, he throws it in full speed. Can he make anything happen? Does not look like he's going to get enough momentum. And heat number 2, Derek Nearhood, Drew Warren, Christopher Standridge, and James Johnson advance to the next round. As we see the next group lining up, the 77. They are already pulling off. Looks like that outside line's got a little bit of a delay. Okay, there he goes. Looks like that number 25 appears to have been the fastest one out of this group. With the revert, he is back there. Getting ready for the pace truck to drop off, and these guys will go green for their 8-lap heats. Third heat, 1 more heat to go, then the consolation, a couple of minutes of warm-up, and we will hit the feature event, and then we'll move on to the 358 big blocks. Pace truck is off. That is an interesting paint job that Ben has there. And Ben gets a huge jump on that restart. Will he be able to run away like the previous race? Derek had over a 1.5-second lead at the end of the last race. He looked like he wobbled a little bit there coming out of the turn. The 77 did close back up. Just a couple of tenths separate them. And the first 2 cars have checked out, but back there in third place in the number 25, it's Gerald Thanos Poole. And currently Michael Whiting in the 44 is on the bubble because Douglas Norton is chasing him down. There is about a 2-second gap from first back to sixth right now, but the first 4 are within just 0.7 of a second. So this could go any way as we get halfway through this third heat. And looks like Michael Whiting is trying to make a move to the inside of Gerald Thanos Poole. And looks like Mikey might have slowed down and had a little trouble. Almost get together coming out of turn 2. 25 is looking to the high side now, but looks like Mikey moved up to block. And Ben Flanagan is loving this as they're back there battling for a spot in the feature. He is running off. He's already got, in just the last couple laps, a 7-second lead. On the final lap, it looks like it's going to be Ben Flanagan winning the race tonight, the heat tonight. And Mikey Mixter, Gerald Thanos Poole, and Michael Whiting will advance. As we start to get these guys lined up for the 4th and final heat tonight. And if you have a moment, go take a moment, like us, and share and follow on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. We broadcast live to Twitch and YouTube Twitch and Facebook at the same time, and all the races are posted on on YouTube later on. Looks like this will be the final 6 to go, so whoever does not get in that top 4 this time by will have to move on to the consolation feature. This has been some really good racing so far, especially considering some of the skill disparities between this group, but that is one of the great things about the Outcast guys. As long as you're a good person, you get along, and everything works. They're not worried about your speed. They'll help you get better. Pace truck is off as they come out of turn 4. Dwayne Kenner was in the lead, but Skylar Massey looked like he had a bit of a run there to the outside. He's running that high line. Oh, he gets into the wall. Skylar Massey's in the wall. He manages to save it, but I would imagine he's got some damage, and he has slipped back into last. He had quite a run, just couldn't keep it off the wall. Looked like me going around the track, to be honest. We'll see if he can make a comeback. Right now it is Dwayne Kenner, Brian Mansfield, Patrick Coluccio, and Brett Carroll are the top 4, but Greg Brazou and Skylar Massey are still back there trying to make something happen. Currently, the top 3 have checked out. They've got almost a full second lead over 4th place Brett Castle. There is Brett in the 999 car, a U.S. Army paint job. And he is going to try and hold on to 4th place from Greg Brazou. They're 4 laps down. We'll see if he can hold on to that position. Dwayne Kenner just continues to open up his lead. And as soon as I said Dwayne Kenner was opening up his lead, looked like he had a little bit of a bobble on the last lap, and now the other 2 have closed up. It is Patrick Colucci to the outside taking the lead. Dwayne managed to get back around him and get back up to the front, and now Patrick is trying to run him back down, but he collides on the straightaway. The 2 of them managed to save it. And it looks like as they finish, it'll be Dwayne Kenner, Patrick Colucci, Brian Mansfield, and Brett Carroll will move on. And we will move on to the consolation race. As they start to line up for that. Looks like the 92 and the 4 will have the front row, followed by the 52, the 12. And we'll have a few more cars on track this time. Looks like we'll have 10 on track, so we might see a bit more excitement this time around. Might be a little bit more bumping and banging for those final spots. I do believe we're going to have 2 of these guys that advance. Then they'll go into their warm-up laps. And we've got Jacoby cheering on Patrick Colucci in the chat. Looks like Patrick will advance to the feature tonight. As they come through, we'll wait for the pace car to drop off. And we'll see if that number 92 can hold on to the lead. Pace truck ducks off. And looks like we might have one jumping the start just a little bit there. The 4 of Jamie jumped the start. Looks like the admins threw a quick caution. So we'll see what happens with Jamie, see if they can get a little bit better restart. Wayne Bridges up there in the front. Skylar Massey, after that really fast start last time and hit the wall, he is back there now and being shown in 7th place. Trying to get a little more information on what they're doing. Lap 3 of 10 under caution. We'll give them a minute to sort out. It looks like Jamie is currently scored in first. Wayne Bridges in second. And we are getting the 1 to green, so we'll see how this all shakes out. And they should get a good restart this time by. Jamie will probably hold back just a little bit. Not going to make that same mistake twice. As we mentioned earlier, Dora is a half-mile dirt track with 24 degrees of banking. Not a lot of dirt tracks have as much banking. Also nicknamed the Big E. Jamie does hold back a little bit. And looks like the 92 was just caught napping on that restart. The 12 gets by as well very quickly. Looks like Skylar Massey is on pit road as well. As we come through halfway already. And it looks like Jamie might be holding on to that lead. But the 12 is not giving up that easy. Jamie and Greg racing side by side. That allows that 92 of Wayne Bridges to catch back up to him. And they stay side by side, almost touching coming down the straightaway. We've got Wayne Bridges still hanging out back there, and Douglas Norton back in the 62. The 52, excuse me. Back there hanging on to first. Ernest Shilko's right behind him. Jim Cook, Leo is back there in 7th. Looks like Skylar might be out. As they come down to 1 to go. The number 12 is still up in the lead and takes the win in the consolation. I believe Greg and Jamie will both advance. And they will advance into the 2-minute warm-up session right before the feature. We'll watch a few of these guys do their warm-up laps. Looks like the 555 of Ben Flanagan is already out on track. And again, they are resetting the tracks to 0 condition, so they won't get worn in quite as quickly when they get to the feature. Looks like right now the fastest one on track, and is no surprise to anybody, was Chris Standridge. But James Johnson just took that from him. Just a few seconds left of warm-up to go, and then we will go to the feature, take a short break, and then we'll go to the 358 big blocks. 358 big blocks will have the same race configuration, so we'll have multiple heats, consolation, and then a 2-minute warm-up. And their warm-up is done. Looks like Chris Standridge hopped out a little bit a little bit early. And Danny Chandler looks like he will be starting on the pole for this race. Derek Nearhood in the 40, who had a very dominant win in his heat, starts on the outside. So their starting order for this 20-car feature will be Danny Chandler and Derek Nearwood in the front row, Ben Flanagan, Dwayne Kenner in the second row, Corey Goodall, Drew Warren in the third, Mikey Mixter, Patrick Colucci, Ryan Nesbitt, and Chris Standridge round out your top 10, followed by Gerald Thanos Poole, Brian Mansfield, Lance Sponberg, James Johnson, Michael Whiting, Brett Carroll, Greg Brazou, I'm sorry, Jamie Calkins, Wayne Bridges, and Doug Norton round out your 20-car field. And it sounds like Tony Stewart's in the background setting off the fireworks a little early right before the feature starts. And hello to Patrick Colucci from the race. Don't text and drive, Patrick. And there go the fireworks, smoke setting off, and of course they have a lot of smoke effect from them as well. I promise, folks, as this season goes on, we'll get better at recognizing the cars and the names and everything about this group. A lot of these guys are new. Got used to calling a lot of these guys on Wednesday night in the Radical SR8s, and you'll definitely want to tune in for that this week. Those Radical races are a bit insane. They are right on each other's bumpers all the time, and sometimes, like what we saw at Daytona, they were five wide coming across the finish line, 4 wide coming across the finish line, some of them upside down at Indy. But right now it's the 305s at Eldora, and Danny Chandler leads them down, but Derek got a big jump there on the outside. They are all slicing and dicing already. And I would not be surprised to see him 3 and 4 wide before long. And there we go, 3 wide. We've got a little bit of a bump. I believe that was the 22. No, that was the 32 there in the middle. Dwayne Kenner manages to save it. Good job, Dwayne. And right now we've got a man on the move. The number 44 caution is out. The number 44 started in 15th, already up in 11th. Let's see if we can find out what brought out the caution. And looks like the 35 tagged somebody, got up into the wall, took Chris Standridge with him. And that is what brings out the caution. And while those two are on pit road, let's go check on the 44. By virtue of that, it looks like, let's see where he is still currently shown in 11th. After they come back around, I do believe he'll pick up at least 2 positions. Michael Whiting started in 15th. He's been the biggest mover so far, but Greg Brazou has moved up 3 spots from 17th to 14th. And Ryan Nesbitt in the 74 started in 9th. He is already up to 5th as well. Looks like Lance Sponberg was on pit road briefly as well. As we get the 1-2 green, we'll focus on the number 40 on this restart. He got a little bit of a jump on that last start, but couldn't capitalize on it like he did in the heat. So we'll see if this time around he can capitalize on that outside line and make it work for him and get up there and take off. Green flag is out. Danny Chandler dives off into turn 1. Does not look like Derek's getting as much momentum as we're 3 and 4 wide back there in the 305s. There are 3 and 4 wide coming out of every single turn. Where's that 44? He was a man on a mission. He is up to 7th now. Michael Whiting charging through the field. But let's not count out another fast mover. That's the 52, Douglas Norton. Started in 20th, already up to 13th, continues to move forward. Michael Whiting in the 44, and we're back under caution. Let's see if we can find out what happened here. All right, there is the 22 of Chris Standridge. He got caught in that first incident. Looks like he got a little too deep in there, checked up to not get into somebody, and who is that he collected? Have to take a look at scoring here in a minute and figure out who it was he collected. That looked like it might have been Doug Norton. Looks like they both get away with no damage, thankfully. And it is still the 113 up at the front. That is Danny Chandler. He's led every lap so far. 1 lap to green. And it looks like the 32, Dwayne Kenner, managed to get around Derek Nearwood right before the caution came out. So now he has the outside line. But the number 40, Derek, is down there on the inside. And back there is the number 74. That is Ryan Nesbitt. Ryan Nesbitt's moving up, but some of the fans will be glad to know the 99, Patrick Colucci, has moved up from 8th to 6th currently. We've got a lot of folks moving up very quickly as we go 3. Oh, just barely. Derek manages to keep it off of Dwayne. And it looks like the 44, Michael Whiting, lost a couple of spots. But the 99 is definitely taking advantage of it. That is Patrick Colucci, currently being scored in 3rd, charging to the front. Manages to hold it off. He got in there way hard. He manages to keep it off his opponents. Looks like he might lose 1 position, but as fast as he's moving forward, I would not be surprised if he regains that quickly. We are 10 laps into this 40-lap main feature. And already this is getting a little bit crazy. And of course, we never count out that 25. That is Gerald Thanos Poole, started in 11th. He is already up to 8th. And they are going 4 wide back behind him. And it looks like Chris Standridge is starting to march back to the front. He's already back up into 12th. He had dropped back to the back of the field after that last caution. Easy there, Chris. 3 wide through the corner. And it looks like Chris is picking up a couple more positions. We got a car up in the wall. And they managed to stay green. And there is the 44 of Michael Whiting. And the 99 of Patrick Colucci, he is still running currently in 6th place. But at the front, it is the number 32, Dwayne Kenner. He is starting to check out. He's got 0.7 of a second lead over second place Danny Chandler. Ryan Nesbitt's currently in 3rd. Derek Nearhood is in 4th. Corey Goodall in 5th. Patrick Colucci, Ben Flanagan, Gerald Poole, Brian Mansfield, and Chris Standridge round out your top 10. Michael Whiting, he was charging to the front. Looks like he's having some problems. He slipped back to 11th. Brent Carroll has moved up slowly but surely in that Army truck, or Army car. Started in 16th. He is currently up to 12th. And Doug Norton, after the incident earlier in that 52 car, he has started moving back up as well. He started in 20th up to 13th. In the meantime, the 32 continues to open his lead. He's up to 0.9 of a second now. Danny Chandler started in 1st. He's back there in 2nd, trying to hold off a hard-charging 74 of Ryan Nesbitt. Nesbitt started in 9th. He is all the way up there to 3rd, and he is starting to come on strong in the second half of this race. We will be halfway this time by. As they battle for second place through, got a little slippery, and we see him a couple places back there. They're 3 wide. As they continue to battle, looks like Lance Sponberg is back on the track. Just trying to get some points as the season goes on. I imagine we'll see him back at the front before it is all said and done. But right now, it looks like the 2 cars to really watch are going to be that 74, Ryan Nesbitt, the 99 of Patrick Colucci, and it looks like Brian Mansfield's starting to put on a bit of a run. He's back there in the 3. He started in 12th. He is already up to 8th. That is him there. That is Brian there in the Jack Daniels car. And looks like Brian's trying to get another position. Whoa, little close there. Goes up high. Looks like he's going to try the crossover into the turn. And it worked out. Looks like I believe that's a 555 there. Ben Flanagan that got up onto the wall. And now Chris Standridge has his hands full as the number 3 continues to charge forward. But in a change of events here, we've got the 113 the 32 up there in the lead, but as he comes around that lap traffic, the 113 has managed to close the gap and take the lead. Danny Chandler takes the lead back from early on in the race, but the 32 is already looking back to the inside. 11 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. And these front 3 have checked out a little bit. The 74 of Ryan Nesbitt still back there in 4th. The 99 Patrick Colucci is in 6th. Derek Nearhood had such a dominant performance in his heat. He is currently sitting in 5th, and he has Patrick right on his tail. But the man charging to the front at the last restart, the 22 of Chris Standridge, was all the way in the back. He's been involved in 2 cautions so far and has already moved his way back up into the 7th position. And we are at 8 laps to go. Danny Chandler has opened up a little bit of a lead, but not very much. He's just showing about 0.2 of a second on Dwayne Kenner, and he is seeing Corey Goodall in his mirror, hoping that, oh, Corey gets up into the wall. Looked like Corey got up into the wall, came down onto the 74, had a little bit of trouble there. That will move the 74, Ryan Nesbitt, up into 3rd place. And while that is happening, Dwayne Kenner has closed that gap back up. As of the track, you're seeing the track starting to slick off just a little bit. The dirt's moving up there to the high side, and these guys are changing their lines. Not as many passing opportunities. It looks like every time Dwayne starts to gain on Danny Chandler, Danny takes it up a notch. They had closed to nose to tail, and Danny took off again. He's back to a 0.2 of a second lead with just 2 laps to go, and the 74 is charging hard. But the fastest lap last time by was the 39 of James Johnson. That 74 is looking down low, trying to find some grip. 2 laps to go. And that 74 is moving up. He's going to take the 2nd position. Ryan Nesbitt is looking to take 2nd away from Dwayne Kenner. Danny Chandler is loving this side-by-side racing from these guys. And they got the 24, the lap car, up there on the outside. That's Lance Sponberg. And a car checkered flag. Danny Chandler takes the win in the 113. Ryan Nesbitt comes home 2nd. Dwayne Kenner comes in 3rd. Derek Nearhood 4th. And Patrick Colucci managed to get back up there and take a 5th place finish tonight. Chris Standridge, even after the issues earlier, managed to get to 6th. Brian Mansfield's in 7th after starting in 12th. Good run for him. Ben Flanagan gets 9th. Gerald Poole gets to 10th. James Johnson 11th. Greg Brazeau started 17th, moved all the way up to 12th. Michael Whiting, after the early charge to the front, as they're helping, they are definitely trying to give him a hand celebrating. We'll see if anybody else comes back around to help him celebrate. And let's see, Michael Whiting came home 13th. Brett Carroll came home 14th. Doug Norton 15th. And Wayne Bridges, Lance Sponberg, James Collins, Drew Warren, and Mikey Mixter round out your top 20. And as they wrap up helping Danny celebrate, that car will have to go back to the shop. He's going to need a lot of work after this. And it looks like Ryan Nesbitt joined us in the booth. How you doing, Ryan?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. You had one heck of a race, sir.
It was a good race. Everybody ran really well and good finish.
That was definitely a good finish, and you came on really strong that last 5-10 laps. You were back about fourth, fifth place, and a couple about 3/10 of a second back, and just came charging to the front past Derek and Dwayne. Did you? I noticed you were down low. Are you finding more grip and speed down there as the track slicked off?
Top was really good, but I knew I couldn't beat him if I stayed up on the top. So I tried the bottom, and it worked out really well. There was a lot of speed left down there.
Well, that was definitely a great finish on your part. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
And we'll look and see. Does not look like Danny Chandler. I don't see Danny available currently. We'll try and talk to him before the next race, and the next race will start in about 40 minutes. So here in about 30 minutes, we will go live again with the 358 big blocks here at Dora once again. So definitely stick around or come back here shortly. We will have some more exciting racing tonight. You do not want to miss out.